Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Manoj Atri, your host for tonight. I'm a real estate agent with Remax Hallmark, and our mortgage expert is running a wee bit late, so we will touch base with him as and when he becomes available. And let me see. Please give me a hi in case if you can hear me properly and if everything is streaming properly. So let me check if I am live at the moment or not. And I just, if you'll be kind enough to send me a yes, I think so. He is there now. So let me pick up his call and so that I can get him on board. And so there are live, our mortgage expert is there. Let me share the screen with him and let me take him. Okay, can you hear me, Faisal sir?
Yes, I
Yes,
can.
perfect. Okay, not a problem. Let me give me a moment here so I can set you up. And once I set you up, yeah, you are absolutely good to go, sir. So we are here with our mortgage expert. Let me take a hi from him and then we will take it from there. Hi, sir. Faisal, sir.
Hello. Hello,
Yes.
audience. Hello, sir.
Wonderful, sir. So you managed to make it on time, sir.
You're
Awesome.
2 minutes late.
Not a problem. It is always a pleasure to have you here. Okay, let me start with the day agenda and then I will take it over from there. Give me a moment here. Let me see where I am today and let me go there. So thank you, audience, for joining. And I am still not sure whether I can be seen live or not. And let's see. Yeah, I am live there. So it is available now. So the agenda of the day is we are going to start with, I think so. Let me see if I can get back because the power presentation slide has stopped for a moment. So let me see if I can get myself back and I can get the power presentation working. And so as soon as the power presentation gets working, I will get you on the slide. So today we are going to start with the power presentation slide is back and let me go there. So today I am going to start with, okay, there is some hang up with the power presentation slides. So let me keep on rolling between back and forth. This is what we are going to do today. We are going to cover our, start with a real estate monologue. And with the real estate monologue, I will start with the rent to own format and an investor's format that we have. And then we will be covering in this real estate monologue. I have a builder who is giving us some very good rent to own format, and also he is giving some zero down for like interest only for the first year. So it may be very, very beneficial to some of you. So I'll cover that in my real estate monologue. And then we are going to cover a big article, which is like around 25 first-time home buyer tips. So this will cover the queries that you guys have for buying purposes. And then the next one is the top article of the day, the webinar article. Can you rent to own a condo? Because there is some confusion. Like, okay, no, you can only do houses or you cannot do condos. So I will try to clarify on that particular front, and we will take our live interview with the mortgage expert, and we'll keep on taking his expertise regularly. So that's the agenda of the day. And now let me head back and see if how's my let me see if I can get the expert in there to shed some more light on that particular one. Give me a moment here and I will take you over to our expert there. Yes, Faisal. Any input here? I think so. You're mute.
I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say at the moment, but specifically a builder getting involved, that's huge.
Yes, I mean, this is what I've brought on the table today. There is a builder who is also doing rent to own, and he has a complete format on that particular one. So I just wanted to point them out. The numbers are very high, but that's sometimes if you don't have any kind of a down payment, this is an incentive to put that together. And so that is where we are. So, and then the main one will be picking up is the 25 first time home buyer tips, because that's quite a big one. Okay, so let me head over there.
Those 25 tips may already answer most of our client questions.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely, that's true. And then we'll cover the main article, which is not a big article today for rent to own, like is it for condos, because there is some confusion, like can you do condos or not. So I'll just wanted to clarify and take that opportunity to do it with this particular webinar. Let me take it over there to that investors format there, and I'll keep on getting back to you as and when we require you.
I'm interested to see how things are there.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me get you into this particular one. We have an investor, and probably in one of our previous webinars, we gave you some of the details, but still there was a lot of queries that were being sought and some more. So if you have few further queries on this one, feel free to write it on the chat there. I'm looking into it carefully, and I will keep on answering you there. So now, this is what it is, like up to 400K, he's willing to do any 400K, and the area is the Greater Toronto area and the surroundings. And the reason he would prefer to be in this particular area is because it appreciates very well, so it is good for you, it is very good for him, and he can only go up to a maximum of $400,000 property. So this is an investor who's willing to do your rent to own, and we are giving you some insight on that particular one. So the area is the Greater Toronto area and the surroundings, and even if it is slightly here and there, he is willing to look into it. Very, very flexible investor we have here. The property purchase price is again $400,000. Again, anything slightly here and there, he's willing to look into that particular one. The property type, condo townhouses, that's what we are trying to pick it up, because freehold properties, there are hardly any left in this particular price range. Now, this is a slightly tricky one, so we will give you an idea here and see if it makes any sense to you. Your annual gross income is $100,000. That is what the investor would start with. But make sure that in case if it goes for 3 to 5 years, then you may have to qualify all the way up to $125,000, because in 5 years time, the price of the property becomes around close to 510K. So that is one of the queries that I was keep on getting. So we start with 100K at the moment. Initially, you have to have that one, and then we need to know how the rent to own program goes for how many number of years. And then in case if it is like 3 years, it may go around 110, 115. And if it is like 5 years, then you may require all the way up to 125 to qualify for a 5-year rent to own program. The minimum down payment is $20K. That is what he would prefer. 20K, but again, there is a slight flexibility. He may take slightly less or closer to the 20K mark, and he is willing to look into this particular one. So that's the heads up we are giving you on the down payment front, that minimum is required around $20,000. This you can take it out from your line of credits or from your credit cards, and he is also willing to work with you on those particular ones. Minimum term is 1 year and maximum is up to 5 years. The property appreciation, I mean, though the market is going even more than 5%, but he will remain closer to the 5% mark, and that is at 5% per year. So the future price will be around $420 for the first 1 year rent to own, and it will go all the way up to $510 for 5 years. And now the most important one is the credit. Investor willing to assist with all types of credit. So if you have a challenged credit, he is willing to look into this particular one. Now let's get into the per month amounts, and that is where things are become interesting. And see, the main thing here is, if you try to go and look for a property which is a rental these days, the rental in the market is between closer to the $2,500, $2,600 for a 2-bedroom or even 3 bedrooms. And if you have a larger family, then you're looking more closer to the 3 bedrooms plus even more rooms. And this one will make some sense there. And again, the amounts are that he'll be charging you rental as $2,500 plus the maintenance and utilities, whatever they are for the condo buildings. And in case if you need to do any repairs, those are on you. Now, additionally, you will have to give $500, which will go towards your down payment. So it is not that you're paying like $3,000. This $500K is going towards your down payment. So it is like a forced savings, but it is there. So the total amount will come close to $3,000 plus maintenance, and it is within reasonable numbers, which we are seeing the trend in the Toronto and the Greater Toronto area these days. Now, regarding the property taxes, the investor will be paying for the property taxes, and the closing cost will be borne by the investor. And the buyer tenant can procure any property on the MLS. So that is my first part of the monologue. That feel free. You have more questions and queries on this one. We are here to walk you through into the detail of this one. And so let's get some insight from the expert, and then I will take you over to the next builders format there. Faisal sir. Anything that you pick it up from here?
It's a simply put, a simple system that is being put together here.
Absolutely.
Very not complicated, and numbers are there. It's very comparable to what you would rent a 2 or 3 bedroom home for. And a lot of things are paid by the investor.
Yes, the property taxes are paid by and the closing cost is there. And the main thing here is like this investor is very, very flexible. Mm-hmm. So he if something is here and there, he's willing to look into it. So that becomes and like let's say suppose his contracts and everything, they're very flexible. They're very, very decent ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of that makes complete sense.
Yes, complete sense. And I want you to now pay a good attention to this builders format, which I'm taking you to there, and let's see if you can guide us further there. Okay. So now we have this particular one. Let me take you over to, this is by Caitlin Corporation, and they have some of their inventory in Bowmanville. So that may be a constraint because they have some of their available. The ones that I talked to them about was in Bowmanville, and that is where this is. And yes, you can own a new home, and this is the 3-4 programs that they are giving it to you. they say they have a number of programs to make it possible, and stop dreaming and make it happen. So this is some of the things that people can look into it. They have a rent to own program. So even on day one, the title will be yours and things like that. And I may be wrong or right. We can get more into the details on this one. But what I could get into this particular one is, you give around between $2,100 to $2,500 per month, plus $2,000 towards your down payment. Until the time you get the down payment, and then you can pick it up from their inventory homes. And their inventory homes are like the townhomes are starting from around $599, if I'm not wrong, and they go all the way up to detached ones are in the $699 range. So that is there. Then they have a rent and purchase program, and then there is a builder's rebate. So they are giving around between $30,000 to $40,000 on a builder's rebate. So people can go exactly here, and they can get more information on this particular one. Again, it is Caitlin Corporation, and they have a 0% interest also for 1 year. I had seeked, like, in case if we can get more than so what happens is, you procure the property in the first year, and they may be flexible on the stress test also. You may have to seek more info on that particular one with them. And then for the first 1 year, you do not pay any kind of an interest, and that also may help someone to come on board. And these are all brand new properties. So the limitations will be, the properties are all in Bowmanville, and Bowmanville is on the east of Toronto after Whitby and Oshawa. And so that may be a challenge. But yes, in case if and they may have at this moment, whatever I could seek was in that particular area. So that is the builders webinar special, some insight into a builder who is doing some rent to own program, and you can get some information on this particular one. So let me see. Go ahead, Faisal sir. Any thing that makes interesting to you?
If builder is coming on board with something of this nature, it makes we'll have to, of course, look into the program and go step by step. But Bowmanville has these options that sometimes comes up, and 0%. There's 4 different options. There's rebate. There's lots of things.
Yes, I mean, like a $30,000 to $40,000 rebate is a very good one.
Yeah,
and even like you can come on board with us, and we can get you to make sure that you get the right format. We may be able to even include it in the down payment.
Yes.
So something of the sort. I mean, I haven't talked to them all about this particular one. They all builders or anyone, they always prefer you put it down on the papers and let's see. But it will be good. Like, let's say suppose you have around 5 or 7% down, and then you take this builder's rebate and put it down further, and then see you now have 10%. So the qualification after 1 year will be much easier, because in 1 year time you should be able to save another 2 to 3% more. So like in case if so everything will count over the number of days, and that is where I am. Okay, so let's head over to the 25 first-time home buyer tips, and let's see. This we will be going through back and forth on this one. Let's see if I can take them there. Okay, Faisal, this is quite an interesting one, and this is an article, like I think so it's a blog, and by Dream Home Financing, and the author is Eric. So he has put together 25 home buyers tips, and the links is in the description, so you can always go and read it about in detail there. We'll try to pick up the headlights and we'll try to see how relevant it is to our situations, and we will keep on guiding you there. So this is the first one that they say is mind your financial health. Okay, and let's discuss this out. Mind your financial health. This is what they're trying to say is your financial health is something that will likely impact your home search and purchase. We are going to give you a thumb rule and see if it makes any sense to you. If your income is $100,000, you will qualify 4 times the income. So that means any property up to $400,000. If your credit is very good, then you may qualify 4.5 times the income. So you can go all the way up to 450. And tell me if I'm right here that if you do not have any debt or something, can you push it over to 5 times the income?
It's possible. You may need bigger down payment, but it's very much possible.
Okay. So that means now this is like at this particular moment when you've talked to me about bigger down payment, they always ask, okay, like let's just suppose a person is calling for, let's take for argument's sake, someone income is $125,000. 4 times the income, they are qualifying for $500,000 property, and they have 5% down payment. So they have $25,000. Okay. Now, instead of this $25,000, they say that we have $50,000. Can they go up to 525?
It's a very good, they can go up to not 525, most times it's 520.
Okay.
Sometimes 520, sometimes 525. It really depends on condo fees, if there are any. It will depend on how much the taxes are, because they also come into the play. And then the multiplier affects, depending on if there is any credit card debt or so on. But as you said, no debts. So it's very close to going closer to 5%, 5 times, but it's not exactly 5 times.
Okay. So I mean, like if they have more than 5%, so it helps. It is not that like it will go into the down payment only.
No, it helps.
It helps. Okay. So mind your financial health. So these are that would be our first thumb rule to walk you through, like mind your financial health. Second one is get pre-approval before contacting a realtor. Okay. I would say you can get pre-approved, or most of the realtors, they can also guide you how to get a pre-approval done. Because the main thing here is, see, you may go to a particular bank, and the bank will only provide you the information relevant to that particular bank. Whereas when you work with a mortgage broker, he is trying to tell you what exactly is the best availability in the market. So pre-approval is a must that we strongly support, and you can be in with a touch with the realtor. Also, he'll be able to guide you and see where the challenges are. So he will be your first step. Take some guidance before you get a pre-approval, but a pre-approval is necessary. What do you have to say on that, sir?
Yeah, pre-approval is definitely necessary, and bank has one product to sell, one brand, right. One brand to sell. A mortgage broker has lots of brands to sell, not
lots
just
of
one.
brands to sell. Yes, and let me get you here for a moment. Yes, see, the main thing here is, I cannot emphasize how important it is for the pre-approval, because without the pre-approval, You even do not know, how will you go and see a particular property? You do not know up to what amount you qualify for. We are giving you the thumb rules, but then there may be issues with your credit and you have no clue about it. Most of the time we have seen, like let's say suppose if we have a car loan and things like that, we have already paid it off, but it has not been discharged on the credit reports. So it is absolutely essential that, and the pre-approval is not that you just go and get one piece of paper. It has to be a thorough pre-approval. What do you have to say on that?
Absolutely. It has to be fully underwritten pre-approval.
Fully underwritten pre-approval. Now, because like a few years ago, people used to come, oh, I've got this letter from the bank. I said, sir, it will not even hold anything with this particular kind. Because the main thing is, did they check your credit? No. Did they check your income papers? No. Did they go through your credit report and scores? No. They have no clue. So on the basis of the basic preliminary information, they have thrown this number to you. And we put an offer, and then they are struggling. Like, okay, now we don't have, we don't have a mortgage.
Yeah.
So things have changed quite a lot. Go ahead if you want to have any other input on it.
Most banks have something called as so most institution I should say have pre-approval that have rate hold. They will hold a rate, but a full underwriting is not done because statistically speaking, a lot of pre-approvals do not end up in property purchase.
So basically, they are not doing any of the work. They're just printing one piece of paper. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's customer gives the number. They don't check the pay stub, job letter, or T4s and such. Because, for instance, let's just say a client is hourly employee.
Okay.
There's different rules. The client is salaried employee. There's different parameters.
Okay, makes sense.
A client is salary plus bonus, different parameters.
Okay.
Salary plus some commission, including travel income. That's another one.
Okay.
So,
depending upon whom you're talking to in the bank.
Exactly.
Okay. So you have to be very careful about, like this pre-approval is not just the pre-approval. So take the guidance of the realtor and the mortgage broker, because mortgage broker is giving you more products than the banks who are going to do. Identify a price point. Yes, we have already told you. You can go 4 times or 4.5 times your income, and that will take care of it. Don't use all of your money for your down payment. Absolutely. There are going to be surprises. And be very wary of that. These are some of the last minute surprises which you have no clue about. We will guide you as best as possible. But from the time the you firm up the offer until the time there is a closing, you may do something in between. And that may take its toll too. So make sure you do not use your entire down payment. Because see, let's say suppose for any rhyme or reason, the closing has to be extended. You need additional funds. If something comes up in between, you need funds. So it is not, don't scramble from dollar to dollar mark. Have some cushion there. Have some last minute surprises funds there. Understand your closing cost. That is again very, very important. General rule is it is 1.5 times the purchase price. But if you are like in Toronto and you are like not a first time buyer, it may be different. You're buying outside of the Toronto area and buying in the greater Toronto area, it may be different. So, and then there are some rebates for first-time buyers. Go through those numbers with your lawyers and understand them very, very carefully before you head into the next one. Go ahead, sir, if you need to add anything to it. You're mute, Faisal.
Sorry.
No problem.
I like the point that it says don't use every penny you have.
Absolutely.
No, because the fact is I've always had this conversation where I tell clients your down payment is this much, your closing cost is approximately this much, and then you have something called as a buffer.
Absolutely.
About 0.5% of your purchase price, approximately.
There are moving costs.
Yes.
There are some other costs that will come into the picture which are not there today.
Exactly.
So keep some buffer. I mean, you should be having an access, even like a credit card or some line of credit lying somewhere where you have access to those particular funds.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yes. So now let's find the right real estate agent. Absolutely a must. You should talk to always 2 or 3 real estate agents. As real estate agents, we all have access to the same data system most of the time. The main thing here is you have to talk to them and feel how does he answer you what you are like. You ask him a question and he gives a different answer. And how like does he explain the whole thing? Simple things, but they are very, very relevant. If you can't get a headway, even in the preliminary, when you haven't gone through the whole exercise of purchasing a property, and see how comfortable are you talking to him, how accessible he is. The availability issues are also there. And then, I mean, does he come on the phone or he doesn't come on the phone? How long does it take him to get back to you? And how well aware of he is of the market? How long has he been in the market? And so all those equations come into play. And always, yes, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm interjecting. Before you end, are they part-time or are they full-time?
Absolutely. It makes a whole lot of a difference because quite a number of them are like full part-time these days. Yes.
Yeah.
Next one is choose the right neighborhood. Absolutely a must. You have to go around and see the neighborhood. Sometimes visit that neighborhood in the morning hours, sometimes at the late night hours, sometimes during the day. Try to see how the traffic is, and even like go and see during all times of the seasons, if possible. You should have a very good idea where you are, because there are many websites on the basis of your purchase price. You will be able to see, I can get a property in this particular neighborhood. Absolutely, when you can get a property in that particular neighborhood, go and do your thorough search in that neighborhood. Sit down in the coffee shops, talk to people around there. How is the neighborhood? What's going on here? Go to the nearby police station. Talk to them. What's the crime rate here? What exactly is going on? I mean, should I be aware of something in there? It is very, very important that you are aware of the neighborhood. Go ahead, sir. Your input on this one. You will have to open up yours. Yes, go ahead.
The neighborhood does make a lot of difference. I remember the first home you did say, check this place out. And I do remember going to a coffee shop on a Friday night to see what that neighborhood was like. 2009, I remember. So yeah, that makes a difference, because you don't want to be moving in a neighborhood and finding out, oh, there are problems here.
Absolutely. I'll just share my, when I was new to this particular place and we trying to do a rental property, the rental property looked very good. The rental amount was very good. This is like around 20 years ago. everything. And we were about to sign we were just picking up the papers for lease and everything, and we were like almost signing, and like we're just going down and coming back up. And then my sixth sense just said, let me talk to someone. And I just went to like one of these vendors who sell these newspapers there. And I just literally asked him, I said, how's the neighborhood? He looked at me and he said, you couldn't find any other place in Toronto? And I immediately, he gave me slightly more insight. Like, no, sir, this is, you should be away from here. And I immediately went back to the manager of the condo there, rental condo. And I said, I want to take my application back. I'm not interested any further. And he said, no problem. I understand. And he was also absolutely, he knew exactly. And I said, this is what he said. And he said, yeah, it is a bit, if you're new, it's a bit rough neighborhood for you guys. You have a family. Try to get the right neighborhoods there. So yes, neighborhood will play a very, very important part there. So now let's go. This is important one. Don't chase unicorns. Trying to find the perfect home that either does not exist or is not available in your price range. Very, very important. So when you talk to a real estate agent, and that is what I am always guiding them, from dream to reality. So, and I have to guide you there. You may be having, I want this, I want this, I want this, and then I will bring you down. So you have to, like, you're flying, you have to come down on the ground where the reality is. So be very, very, do not chase unicorns. This is one of the very important ones because the reality on the ground is way different than what dream home that we have in our head. Consider home resale value, extremely important. And that is where I have guided them many a times. Do not go and jump into a property which is like around 7 or 10 days in the market. Let it lie down there. Let it lie down there. Let the multiple offer situations get out. Let the property settle. Make a right, prudent choice. Do the comparables very much. Do not fall into the love of the property right there and then. Leave it for some time. It will settle down, at least not above the market value, because if you're paying above the market value, that means now the first year appreciation money, you've given it to the seller. So you have to weigh this out and consider home resale value absolutely, because even if anything goes tough, if you had bought it prudently, you have some margin to hold on to. Don't fall in love with a money pit. This is like one of my clients, literally, she was wanting to purchase a fixer-upper. And then she said, I'm handy, I have people who will be going and doing this particular stuff and things like that. But then I ran her through some numbers. See, we are there in the market on a regular basis. I myself, even with you or even with other investors, we have bought properties fixed and sold. We know the numbers. We know the surprises that comes. Surprises from the contractors, surprises from the city building permits, and it's not, and time delays. Everything has to be structured into. You have to have a margin. We on our own projects keep tremendous amount of margin, and that's why. And so do not fall in love with a money pit. If you are a contractor, if you can do a fixer-upper, go through the numbers very carefully. Be very, very like generous with the numbers. Like, okay, this is what I can comprehend. This is the surprise that I have no clue about. even when you are doing everything on a regular basis, still you will come up with surprises. Go ahead, sir. You are quite an expert also in this particular field. Go ahead.
Yeah, expect it. I like to say fixer-uppers are like can of worm. Expect things to go wrong and have lots of buffer.
Lots of buffer. Absolutely.
Lots of buffer. And know the right experts in doing it.
Yes.
Because I remember doing the project of weeping tile around the house. 6 different coats, 6 different ideas. One of them wasn't the highest coat, but the highest quality work. And I could have never found that person unless I had done thorough research in the market and, understood what questions to ask, so on and so forth. At the end of the day, if you're buying, fixing, and selling, you are doing out of the ordinary. You have to be extra careful.
Absolutely. Okay, now finding the right home. Very, very. So that's where. Just let me ask you in between. Are you available after 8? Because we may be running slightly.
Yes, I'm okay until 8:10.
Okay, I'll try to wrap it up at that particular time. So finding the right home. Okay, very, very important that you understand the commute, you understand the property taxes, you understand the other stuff that is going on in there, and you are comfortable with the neighborhood, and you find the right home, and so that for the next 3, 4, 5 years till the time your situation changes, you are able to handle that particular property. Determine if you are in a buyer's market or a seller market. Very, very important. Very, very important to see where the trend is, and because in the buyer's market you may be able to get it at market value or slightly less than the market value. In a seller's market value, you will be encompassed with multiple offer situations and you will end up paying higher. There's no doubt. Consider a condo versus a single family home. Yes, that has to be completely understood too. Because see, let's say suppose in today's market you want to live in Toronto, you will and you have limited budget. There is no other choice apart from a condo. The single family homes have become out of purchasing power for many of us. So that is where it is. Go ahead, sir. Input.
Determining, there's a whole lot to know. There's I'm sure these are 25 tips. There's more to know, but everything that is being said has its own relevance. All I can say is take every step cautiously.
Yep. Okay. Next one is some of the buyer etiquettes. You can go through this one on the article itself. But this was one of the important points which I feel, yes, I should be refrain from making a negative comments in case if you see that the sellers are there in the property. So that sometimes and even if apart from negative comments, even if you are enthralled by the property and you like it very much, don't express that right there. It becomes difficult for me to negotiate it there then. So even if I can get some discount for you, even if I can do some wonders for you, it ties me up because you have already shown, they are extremely happy with this house. They just want it. So I lose that bargaining chip there. Shop for a home in the rain. This is one of the points which I liked it very much. It says you should go and see properties when it is rain or snow and things like that. I mean, this I have added because you will be able to see where the potholes are, where the water is clogging, where is things are leaking, where is the draft. And this was an important one. Go ahead, sir. Add your input in it.
And most times you get a showing time very flexible.
Absolutely.
Because when it is raining, not everyone wants to go and see.
Yes. So this one was an important one. I mean, during the winters also, I was figuring it out. Like going and seeing during the winters will make something interesting here. Research each and every property. Absolutely. Once you narrow down 4 or 5 of your properties before you start putting in, get the details more. Where the schools are, where the bus is there, how accessible your commute is going to be. Think of other things also that can make your life easy. Then next one is make the right offer. Yes, sometimes go through the comparables very well and talk to the agent who is doing this on a daily basis or a very regular basis. Don't throw $50,000 less than the asking price. They will throw your offer in garbage. Whereas have a decent number there that is the right way of doing business. If it is overpriced, you don't have to put an offer, throw in a verbal offer. And so go through the whole process. The agent is there to guide you and he will take you to the next step very, very well. Consider using a real estate attorney. Absolutely. So you have two eyes on it. The real estate agent is there and then your lawyer is there to make sure if anything has been missed by each other, that can be taken care of. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, attorneys are very important. Making the right offer, right clauses, conditions. There's so much. An offer is what, typically 15 pages? Something of that sort?
7 to 8 pages, yes.
7 to 8 pages. Then there is MLS listing. Then there is any amendments. All in all, and if there are any other clauses, so it's important to go through thoroughly.
Absolutely.
It's a binding contract. Anything that is missed
will hound you.
Is a problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next is get a septic system inspection. Absolutely. If you're buying like in the outskirts and there is a septic system, there is a drill well, and there are like so both of them should be done. The septic system, the drill well should be thoroughly checked up, and will they last, or you are now into a money pit there. Make sure the home sits on a solid foundation. Absolutely. You need to get a home inspection done. Home inspection is only $300, $400, or $500, and it can save you tens of thousands of dollars, and they will become learn how to make repairs. And the home inspector will tell you on your own will be able to see a lot of things and be prepared for some home repairs. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, there will always be small things to a home, but you want to make sure that the home inspector does look at the home. It's very important because they will point out all the structural major issues that you will not even know.
Absolutely.
Like a supporting wall, let's say.
Yes, and if there are like any structural changes to the property, yes, those things are important.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there's a whole lot to know, which you can never know. Doesn't matter if even if you are, I should say, a professional within the real estate industry. Let's just say if you are a plumber or an electrician or an engineer, looking at the home that you're about to buy, you do want other professionals to look at it because they look at it from outside box perspective.
Absolutely.
Versus yourself, because your emotions are involved.
Absolutely. Prepare for your move. Yes. You have to have all those particular people are in there, and you have to make sure on what date are you moving, and are there movers available or not. Don't leave it till the last end and then you're struggling to find a mover there. And also with movers, that very day plus any additional days, you need to be careful about those particular one, because there can be delays sometimes. Change the locks immediately after closing. Absolute a must. You do not know to how many people hold keys to that particular property.
Yeah.
There may be someone holding a grudge against the seller. They may come back the next day. And even like so just be very careful, and it is strongly advisable that you need to change the locks immediately after closing. Review all service providers. Absolute yes, so that you do not get a surprise check like, sir, you haven't paid your bill for such a long period of time, and you are in default now, or you have to pay penalties and things like that. So go ahead, Faisal.
Changing locks, I followed that. Reviewing, service providers. Most times, you will get a list from your lawyer to sort of arrange it. And service providers have made it easy too, because of the real estate market. They have cutoff dates and such, so it's fairly easy. Just have to be made calls and set things up. You will on your name, if you're taking the utilities, they may do a credit check on it. So small things, it's nothing major, but all these small things have to be worked through. It's part of the process.
Absolutely. So that brings us to the end of this particular article review, and now we are going ahead with our main topic of the day. Can you rent to own a condo? And I am now taking you there, and let's see if I can. So that is the main agenda. The reason we are saying here is, yes, let's explain you this terminology in a brief. So let me explain you first what exactly is rent to own, and then I'll start to pick up the main topic there. Rent to own is basically, and this I have done it another number of times, but for new subscribers, I just want to dwell on 2 slides before I head into the main topic, that you're not buying today, but buying tomorrow. And that tomorrow can be anywhere from 1 year to 5 years. So that is the most simple format, if I can walk you through. Now, this is also to be understood. In rent to own, there is an owning component. There is a buying component. It is not that you can keep on renting for unending period of time. There is a period. So 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years down the line, you have to purchase the property. So that has been also like, and this query, no matter how many times I've explained, I keep on getting this back. Is it like you have to own the property at a certain period of time? There is an buying component attached to this particular one. Okay, let's head over to the next one. Okay, now let me walk you through here. I call this rent to own format a worst case scenario. And the reason I explain to you this is, like, you have gone into this whole particular exercise and suddenly you find it's a very costly one, and it's a worst. This particular program is trying to address the worst case scenario. So that is where it has to be understood. Let's say suppose you are not able to procure a mortgage. So you have ran out of that particular option there. And also you have ran out of options for able to procure a place to rent. That is when this option may be a viable option, because it's a very costly program, and you're trying to address a worst case scenario. So this part has to be understood before you jump into this particular program. So those are my 2 slides which I walk you through, and then now I am coming over to this particular one, and that is where I want you to understand the property types. What exactly is a condo and what exactly is a freehold? The freehold properties are like row townhouses, semi-detached units, properties with no maintenance fees. So that's where I am writing without any maintenance fees. The detached homes are also coming to this particular category, which is like linked and detached houses. They may be linked by a garage and the rest of the property is detached, or they may be linked at the basement and rest of the house is detached. And again, they have no maintenance fees. So these two are coming to the category without any maintenance fees. Condos and condo townhouses, they come with maintenance fees. So that is why whenever you guys okay, exactly what is the difference between a condo and a freehold, the main difference is the maintenance fees. So this has to be understood, and that is why I took this particular slide to just walk you through what are the property types and what exactly is going on in there. Okay, now plan of action. This is very important. There are some 3 or 4 things that you should do before you are able to procure a property, whether it is rent to own or buying. Obtain your credit score. Go to Credit Karma, go to Borrowwell, where you can get your credit scores for free. Now, once you are serious enough and you know everything's fine, you can pay and take out one from Equifax and things like that, because that is where most of the lenders use that front from. Calculate your annual gross income as declared in your taxes. 2 years average net income for self-employed. Most of the time, we do not want the per month income. It is the annual income, the income that you have reported on your taxes, and it's in your notice of assessment. Look into that and multiply it by 4 times to see this is what you qualify for. Third one is calculate the property qualifying amount. That's what I've told you. Multiply it by 4 times if you're trying to buy a condo, because condo has a maintenance fees. So that is why the most of the lenders will go 4 times the income. For a freehold property, they will go around 4.5 times of the purchase price. Now, also, these are some of the websites, realtor.ca, trebhome.com, where you can actually go and see what is available in your price range. So this is things to do before getting started. These are simple steps and they make a lot of sense. Even this is a preliminary basic homework you can do even if you want to indulge into a rent to own or a buying option there. Now, this is very important here. Your situation may be unique. Then call us. You may have a unique situation. You may have income issue. You may have permanent residency status issue. You may have a maternity leave income issues. You may have disability income issues. You will have child tax income consideration. Give us a call. We have mortgage experts with us. Faisal goes out of his way to handle these particular issues. So he will be able to guide you there. Let me take you to him. Faisal, you need to add anything on this particular one?
No, and honestly, the list goes on and on. The challenges you might have in the past: credit, the self-employment income you have, commission income you have, bankruptcies, the whole 9 yard. Anything that hinders you from getting a mortgage, we work on it, and we make sure that we get you through.
Absolutely. Okay, now we have also added a few other things for you. Your self-employed income, co-signer obligation, down payment shortfalls, credit issue, past bankruptcy dilemmas, and any other real estate queries. Feel free to call us, because that we have more insight into it. So you can, on your own, you can get some basic insight, and your situation may be unique. Give us a call. There's no harm. we will guide you further and we will take it to the next level. That is where our expertise comes into it. So in the end, can you rent to own a condo? Absolutely yes. And in case if I'm not wrong, with this particular market in the Toronto, you can only afford a condo these days, which are there in the price ranges there. So that concludes us for this particular day of the webinar. And I will now guide you to some of the websites that we have. Go ahead, Sir Faisal. Add whatever you have to add.
No, it's a good wrap up because there's 25 tips and what we can do to get our clients their mortgages and homes that they can afford and sort of start building equity.
Absolutely. Okay, now I would like to head over to the one or two other stuffs. Give me a moment here. Now let me take it over to one of your websites. You can be in touch with the mortgage broker on his website, faisalgarcia.com, his name.com, and he is quite an expert in mortgages, and he is also a credit repair expert. So now let him add so that I can then start showing something else of his. Go ahead, Faisal, if you need to add anything to that.
Oh, it's Dominion Lending site that we work through. It's got everything our client needs. Lots of good info, some good blogs, and as your opening credit repair website, this one also has lots of info.
I hope, yeah. So you had recently done an amazing wonders with some credit repair. So if you can go again on that particular one, they need to hear at the moment when they are about to see your credit repair website. Now this is another credit repair website, which is creditrepairnow.ca. Go ahead, Faisal.
Yeah, we've done some very good work. We've gone for a client, I don't remember exactly what was the score, but it was in 400s, and we've gone all the way to mid 600 in less than 4 weeks.
Awesome. That was awesome, really. So you can be in touch with him regarding the credit repair, and his website is creditrepairnow.ca. And that let me see if I can get over to one of my websites. That is where I generally prefer. Anything else you want to add tonight, sir?
No, one standing thing that I do see is there's more than one option of rent to own. There's lots of guidance if you are looking to buy a property, and there's lots of tips, small things that will help you get in a home and start building your equity.
I appreciate that, sir. So this website is all over the place. Let's see if I can go into there, and it is loading, and it is there. Okay. Now, this is one of the main websites which you guys must have come often. This is a page which is called MA in Real Estate, where I curate around 8 to 10 articles on a daily basis and email it to you. You can come on the first page and subscribe yourself to this one, where you will get the latest info on websites on real estate in Toronto and the Greater Toronto area, and where things are moving. And if on the right hand side you have all my contact information there, so that will give a further boost to your help. Now let's see if I can take you to one of the other pages. In the meantime, if you need to add anything to that particular newsletter that I put together.
it's a good one that has like 4 to 6, sometimes up to 10 articles that come out, and not everything is necessarily catches my attention, but some things that do catch my attention gives me an option to go explore further and read the entire big thing if I want to. So it's a great one that comes in your inbox, has all the relative material, and you pick and choose what you want to focus on.
I appreciate that, sir. And the last one is my website. You can come over to manojatri.com. This is the rent to own page where we have, and on the right hand side, we have lots of other stuff. We buy houses. You can come across with power of sale listings, request for power of sale listings here. I can also guide you with zero down with the cashback program and rent to own homes and the more information on the webinars. And that concludes us for the day today. And really appreciate you being here, Faisal. And I hope we have been able to give some insight to the audience. And we look forward to meeting them on the following Monday.
Thank you again, yourself, sir, and to the audience that attended. Feel free to like us on social media. There's links in the just below the video, and if you have any questions or concerns, reach us out.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Faisal, for all your time. And good night to audience. Good night. And good night, Faisal. Thank you, sir.
Good.